So we're on this website, More Flooring for Less, and it is not a terrible website. It just is lacking a little bit of that extra, I don't know, professionalism, I guess we'll call it. What's really cool is you can click on some of the images, and that's pretty much all that they do. But if you notice, they're about the same size as what the pop-up is, so it's kind of unnecessary. So let's jump into the Quicksite editor, and the first thing that we're going to do is add a section above the logo. What we're trying to accomplish is adding more of like a call to action. This is going to have the phone number. Let's see. We'll just put like a default phone number for now. The font that we're going to use, let's see which one looks the best. I think honestly I like this one just right off the bat. We're going to make this text white. And we'll make it probably 24 pixels tall and in the center. For the background color, we're going to make it black. And section width we'll put somewhere around there. We'll give it very minimal spacing on the top and the bottom. And of course we need this new section to be active. So that's what we're going to go with. Our logo, we're going to have it stand out a little bit more. The way that we're going to go about that is changing this background color to white. The spacing on that looks fine. Let's see, and we'll save. Now the biggest problem that we have is that now they kind of blend together, so we're going to add another section in between here, and this one is just going to be a background color. And we'll use that, and spacing doesn't matter, and of course we need it to be active. Next thing we're going to add is a nice background image for our website, and we're going to go to background, choose, and we'll choose our background image and upload. Now for this, we don't want it to be blinding if the image didn't load immediately, so we're going to choose a black or dark background. We can change the opacity of the image as well, so if we want it to be a little bit dimmer we can. And for the height, for the normal height, we'll do somewhere around there, should be fine, and a little bit smaller for mobile. And the section width, we'll just put the same width as we did the others. One thing that we are going to want is probably some text here. We'll just say your local, let's see, flooring experts. Of course, check your spelling. For this one, for the font style, we'll choose something different. So we'll do the Italiano one because that's kind of fancy, and we'll make the text white. And somewhere in that large area, we want it to be horizontally centered as well as vertically, and we'll activate the section, we'll save, and this is what it looks like so far, so that's pretty cool. For the section here, of course we want them to know what section that they're viewing, and we're gonna do that down here. So we'll say flooring options, oops, spelled correctly of course. And we'll choose the same font that we did earlier. And we're going to choose the accent color for this business. We'll make it a little bit larger, probably somewhere in that range. And the background color, we want it to be darker. So we're going to choose, I think this color should be nice. Opacity doesn't matter because we don't have an image. For spacing, that should be fine. And we'll do the section width somewhere in that range. One thing I actually wanted to do was also change the spacing between the items. To make it more visually appealing, we'll do 5 items per row rather than 4 because this 4 lines up. And for the items per row on mobile, we'll do 3. Let's see, item spacing vertical. We're going to make this tremendously smaller and horizontal, so that's the space between the items. And image, we're going to keep them square and square. And we don't have any text, so that doesn't matter. That's the text on the outside. Let's save this. Cool. So that looks tremendously different than it did before. Of course, when you click on the image, it still has that same lightbox effect. We're going to continue to edit, and we'll view items. These are the items that you have that you see here. You can reorder them, of course, but the first thing that we're going to do is push on edit. And for this one, we're not going to add any cover text to the outside. I like how it looks there. Instead, what we're going to do is add the text here. Porcelain tile. And for the font, we'll choose the same as earlier. We'll choose the same color. And we will make this a bit larger. And of course we have our description for that. And instead of Roboto, we'll choose Able. We'll choose a lighter gray. For this, we'll make the font a little bit bigger. And we'll add some additional images, bring some additional interest to this area. Upload. Upload, and one more. For payment link, of course this business is a flooring company, so you don't really want to just sell stuff online, but this company actually does want to be able to send their customers samples and things like that. So we're actually going to add a samples link so you can order samples online as well. For this one, we do want the same font that we were using earlier. That size is just fine. As far as the background color, we'll choose, or the font color, we'll choose black, and for the background color, we'll choose gray. We don't want that button to show on the outside here. Instead, we'll have it once you click on it, so we'll save that one. So let's show the difference. So this is what it looked like before, and now after those changes, this is what it looks like. On this, we can click through the different images here, and of course we have that button where they can purchase their samples. So tremendously different than before. We're going to go through and do that same thing to the other items. When somebody clicks on any of these, they can toggle through and see the different images for each one, of course the description as well, just like before. So that's pretty cool. This one has quite a few pictures. We'll close out of that. Now on this, if you didn't like the order of these, you can always change it fairly easily right here. I do like the order that it's in, so I'm not going to change it, but we're going to go back to the first page. Now here we already set up all of our settings. We can change some of the spacing, I think, for the bottom. Let's add a little bit more so it has some space before the next section, kind of like the top. Now this about section, I'm sure that your company has some great information, and I'm sure theirs does as well, but it's definitely important not to overwhelm the people that are visiting. So one thing that we can definitely do to change this is make a few minor adjustments. Say who we are. We'll choose our font that we had earlier, same one there, and 48 is okay. Now what I did is I went ahead and I condensed the about section to something more manageable. The font style is good, that color text is good, and the size is good. We'll keep it left justified. As far as the background, we'll change the color to white. And the spacing, I think we should go down. For the section width, we'll go up one. We don't need a payment link, of course. And we'll save that so far. Now this looks like that. It is not as nice as it was before, to be honest. One of the changes that we're also going to do is go to more options. We'll change the section type, and we're actually going to choose left image. Now what this did was it added an image to the left side there. We're going to go edit, add an image, and choose from our images. We'll choose this one here. Now that looks a lot nicer, of course. Let's make this a circular image. We don't need it clickable because it's not that large of an image. You can also add a video if you wanted to. And what we are going to do is actually make it one smaller. We'll save. Under the description, there's actually another option that says align text vertically. If this text happens to be smaller or larger than the image, it would actually center them, which is really nice. So we're going to save that. Now for the next section, we want something that's maybe not as crazy. So it's a pretty cool picture, but it's a lot to look at. And I think they could have added more information here. So let's edit this section. We'll simplify the title by just saying our installation. And we're going to choose the same font that we were using earlier with the same size. We'll add our larger description. We'll keep the same font style. And as far as the image goes, we're going to choose some other images. And we'll remove that one there. So as you notice, you have the ability to click on these now. We'll make these circular as well. And for the background, I think that lighter gray is pretty nice, but we'll change the spacing. We'll save that for now, and then we're actually going to change the section to right image. So now it looks a lot nicer than it did before. Now we already showed some photos of their installation process, so I think this one is a bit overkill. What I think is a better idea to do, let's remove this one, is to actually change this entire section to a background image. Now if we go back, we can edit, and we'll choose a nicer image to put there of like maybe a finished result. We'll upload. The sizing works just fine, and we'll save. So that's that photo there. We're actually going to add a new section here. We'll choose an item section. This is going to be a gallery of the things that we've accomplished. So we'll view items, we'll add a new item. For these, we're not going to do a description or title or anything like that. It's just going to be images. And we'll choose a couple of those files. Now what's nice about doing it this way, I'll show you, is it actually will show the flooring that's in that photo. So it's very nice for your customers. And we'll save. We'll add another one. And of course the flooring that goes with it. And the next one. As well as the flooring that goes with it. We'll add our next item, upload and save that, as well as the flooring that goes with it. Let's see, what is the next one that we have? One more after this. So we'll save this one, and we'll add the last item. Once again, we'll just go to add an image. Save that, and we'll add the flooring option as well. Of course, we'll save that as well. Now these are the images that we have, and as you see here, it's not very appealing. There's a couple different ways that you can increase the aesthetics of this section. One way is you can do that by increasing the number of items per row. You can also do that for the mobile version as well. You can increase and decrease the spacing, and also change the type of image and the shape. So for example, if I save the changes that I've made, they're super tiny and there's no space in between them. The way that I'm going to design this is going to be 2 items in a row. We'll keep that the same for mobile. We'll keep a little bit of spacing between them, just like we did for the other section. We'll keep them that square edge rather than rounded corners or a circle. And we'll choose the 3x2 option. And of course, activate our section. That actually makes it look like this. I think one more closer would be nice. Yeah, there we go. Now what's really nice about this is when you click on them, like we said, you can see the flooring option that goes with it for each and every gallery photo. So from a business perspective, you're able to really show the work that you've done in the past, and so people can get an idea of what you're going to do for them as well. And I believe we need to make this one more wider. There we go. Now the idea of this learn more title is essentially to have people send them a message and say, hey, I want to learn more about what you're doing. But I think it should be more of like more information for them instead. So we're actually going to change this around just a little bit. One of the things that we're going to do is change this to a title instead, learn more. We're going to choose the same font that we've been using as well as the same size and color. We'll add a detailed description, our font, and our font color. Yeah, that's the correct color. We don't want it centered, and we'll have it a normal size. For the background, we'll choose a gray color. I think the EB would be nice. And I think our spacing that we've been using is somewhere in that range. Nice. Now one of the things actually that I want to do is remove the bottom spacing that we have. That puts it right up against this next section. What we'll do now is add a large image, and this will be another photo of something that we've done for our customers. We'll save that. Now this one looks a little unfinished with the edges there. So we're going to add round edges, and we'll make it clickable because it's a nice large image. And of course activate it. Choose the same background color as the previous section. We'll make it the same width, and we'll save. Now this image, they can actually click on it. It turns into a lightbox mode, which is really nice as well. On the bottom, to make it more cohesive, so to edit that, we'll start with the social links that are on the bottom. We're going to look at the ones that we have. We have one that's not active, it looks like. We'll activate that one. For the icon color, we're going to choose probably that lighter gray that we've been using. We'll save that. Oops, wrong gray. Save that. And we have TikTok here as well. Now some people like to use X, but in some cases X isn't as familiar, which is probably why it wasn't active to begin with. So what we'll do is we'll edit this one once again. We'll click on the icon button on the side, and on the top, if we type in X, it should give us options for X, but we can also type in Twitter, and it'll give us options for Twitter because that one is more recognizable. So we're going to choose the Twitter icon instead. We'll save that. Now we have all of our links. Of course, yours would have the extension to, let's say, you're at Instagram or Facebook or what have you. We just have the default for now. We'll next go to the message form. This message form, for the input font color, we're going to choose the same font color that we've been using. We'll choose a darker background. We'll save this one. We'll choose Able as our font. For the button, I think having that white is completely fine, and the background for the button, we'll choose our accent color. We don't currently have a Google map, but I definitely want to add that. It'll have the address here, but we can edit if we want. And for the copyright, we'll keep that the same. For the color of the text, we'll select our gray. For the branding on the bottom where it says powered by Gigagenix, you can turn that off if you like to, or on, it doesn't really matter, completely up to you. On the background, we're going to choose the background color that we'd like to have. And I think this dark gray would be nice. We'll do a little bit of spacing on the top, and we'll match the same width for everything else. We'll save. And if we go back down here, it has our entire footer section that we've updated. So now it has the form on the side. It has the accent colors, and of course our social icons on the bottom, and an actual Google map that goes to the location that we selected. Now that we've finished building the website and in our editor, of course we want to see what it looked like before. And now we want to click on Live View to see what it's going to look like after. This has all of the changes that we've done. It looks tremendously more professional than it did before. It's definitely a website that if I went to as a customer, I would say, hey, I definitely want to see what these people do, because they have some great work that they're able to show me. From the before to the after, tremendously different. Clients can click on the different items here. They can flip through some of the options that they have. They can also have a quicker view to who the company is and the type of work that they do with some additional photos. They have the gallery and the flooring options that coincide with the different photos. Just like before, they can actually click on the photos that they have here because we did them as a clickable. So it turns into a lightbox and contact us at the bottom and utilize the Google map to actually come to our store location if they like to. The social media icons are on the bottom down here too. If this is a process that you'd like to try for yourself, you can go to gigagenix.com. Super cost effective and easy to use, but we're definitely here to help too. So leave some comments down below if you have any questions, and we'll see you next time.